Hey guys, in this video I thought I would show you the nuts and bolts of how a workers' comp case gets settled and what papers you file at the commission in order to settle a case, right? So if your case goes to trial, the judge enters an order as to what you get and what you don't get after, a trial. But if the case settles, then a settlement contract gets entered, and that's what we're going to look at in this video. The vast majority of workers' comp cases settle eventually, usually after a fight. A lot of them settle pretty quickly without a big fight, but you never really know what you're going to get until you get knee-deep into the swamp. So just like starting a workers' comp case involves a form, so does settling a case. So if we go here and type in IWCC, not org, just IWCC, and hit enter, Google will find the Illinois Workers' Compensation Commission for us. We type in IWCC because it stands for I for Illinois, W for workers, C for compensation, and C for commission, right? So quick way to find it, you click there, then you go to the forms section, right? So this is familiar if you saw the other video. If you didn't, it's there. It's right there for you, baby. So we want to go to the case management forms. So remember this one. This is how you start a case. And there's like even some special instructions for people filing without an attorney. Well, this guy is the one we're talking about now. This is the settlement contract. And again, it's available in a fillable Word document or an Adobe PDF. They recommend that you download them, fill them, and print them so it's nice and clean and easy to read. If you're going to fill them out by hand, I would recommend that you do it very, very neatly so that it's legible. And if your handwriting is like mine, get somebody with good handwriting to do it. Other thing is, note that the form is on pink paper. So this is a double-sided document, and what you do is you fill it out and then print it double-sided on pink paper. If you don't submit this to the commission on pink paper, they won't accept it. If you don't send it double-sided, they're probably going to reject it. They're sticklers for that kind of thing. So you click the one or both of these to download the form. And I have a form on a teeny tiny little case I handled a number of years ago. I'll be honest with you, it's just the first one that popped up when I searched my computer. And so this is what the form looks like. So see, it's a 2-page form, and it's a settlement contract, and then you'll see that a lot of this stuff is exactly like the application for adjustment of claim that starts a workers' comp case. So your name, company's name, case number, where the case is set and who the arbitrator is, your info, company's info, lots of information about the part of the body, how it happened. It gets more interesting down here because this is where they start talking about the dollars and cents and what these guys are responsible for and what they're not going to pay for, right? So the rubber meets the road sort of starting here. So if you have an attorney, obviously they're going to take care of this. But if you're doing it yourself or you're going to settle a case based on the company or their lawyer filling this out, read this and make sure you understand it. And ask the other side to write you a letter explaining what this really means, because there are little pitfalls here that if this isn't filled out the right way, you can get stuck with a medical bill that they should be paying, right? So the rubber meets the road here, but oh my gosh, look, the rubber really meets the road here. So again, all of this language, a lot of this language is form language. It appears in every settlement contract. But what your opponent, the insurance company or the defense attorney, the respondent's attorney puts in here can really hurt you. So you definitely need to make sure that you understand what this means and what this means. And there's no reason why your opponent can't write you a simple, plain English letter explaining what all this means. Now, if you have a lawyer, you don't have to worry about it. The lawyer knows what this means, and it's their job to protect you, okay? But here's what is really interesting. This is the interesting part. It's simpler, and it really captures what you're going to put in your pocket, right? So total amount of settlement, $1,500. Remember, 20% is $300, so that's the attorney's fee. The attorney here spent $45. Well, the attorney here, we know who that is. Spent $45 on getting the medical records and then the injured person ends up with almost $1,200, $1,155, right? So you'll see that with the 20% attorney's fee, the injured worker gets, most of the money on these cases, which is nice, right? It's the way it is. So important section here, because you have to certify that you know that you're waiving your right to a trial before the commission and all this other stuff. You sign here. If you have an attorney, they sign here. The insurance company or the respondent's attorney signs here. And then this goes to the commissioner, or not the commissioner, the arbitrator. In other words, this one would have gone to arbitrator Flores. And the judge looks over the deal and decides whether they're going to approve it or not, or whether they want more information. So in workers' comp, the judge actually has some responsibility to make sure that the injured worker is being protected to some extent. The problem, though, is the judges have hundreds and hundreds of cases, so they have to rely on what the attorneys tell them. And if you're unrepresented and your opponent attorney is going to court, they can get the judge to approve the settlement. They can tell the judge a bunch of terrible things about your case, whether they're true or not, and get the judge to approve it. So if you have an attorney, one of your attorney's jobs is to make sure the deal is fair and make sure that that the judge has, or the arbitrator has, what he or she needs to approve the settlement, right? I guess the last thing I would say is, I promise you, most of my cases are way bigger than this. This is just a teeny tiny case that was the first one that popped up, and I thought it was a easy one, a simpler settlement. It doesn't have like attached agreements and crap like that to it. These can get pretty complicated. Most of them are pretty simple. Most workers' comp cases do settle after a little bit of fighting. Very few of them go to trial, but that is mechanically how it works. Form, just like starting the case, you got a slightly more detailed form ending the case. So hope that teaches you a little bit, helps you, answers your question. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.